I was a scholarship athlete at University of Nevada, Las Vegas. 3 weeks before my 18th birthday, I broke my neck in my first college football game. Second play I was in. And I suffered a C4 burst fracture, so I was paralyzed from the chin down for about 19 months. Through God's grace and mercy, 36 months later, I got on my feet and have been telling that testimony for many, many years. For about a year and a half, I was struggling with massive, what I thought were allergy issues. And I had a lot of drainage in my sinuses. My throat would hurt all the time. And then one day I went to the doctor. Vanessa just noticed I was really not looking good. And she said, "You're going to the doctor." And I'm not the kind of guy that likes to go to the doctor.
I was away on a trip with my son, and I got a phone call that David had been hospitalized with MRSA. I got to the hospital, we got him through the MRSA, and about 9 days after that, he still just looked terrible.
I'm on antibiotics.
Yeah, on antibiotics. And I said, "Honey, something's wrong." And that's where we found out that we had to deal with cancer.
Doctor said, "You've got a mass in your throat." So we went to the emergency room. And about 45 minutes after we were there, the lady that was looking at me, she said, "I want to get a closer look at this." So they did a CT scan. And then she came in and said the 7 words I didn't want to hear. She said, "I don't have good news for you." She said, "We think you have a cancer in your throat."
And it was a very scary, real moment. And we knew we had family members, we had friends, people who had gone through traditional treatments that were so difficult, and sadly, some of them didn't end with positive results.
The first words that came to my mouth that I couldn't even stop, I wish I could have, were, "Are you and the kids going to be okay without me?" I mean, that's just my thoughts on what a cancer diagnosis was. I made a commitment that night that if this was God's exit strategy for me, that I was going to let people see Him all over it. And if this was just going to be an interesting part of my resume, which is what I was praying for, that people were going to see God all over it. The next morning, Vanessa and I got up and we started to strategize. She and I immediately started reaching out to what our resources were in San Antonio.
And so as we got diagnosed in San Antonio, the interesting thing to us was they wanted to send us to an oncologist there, but the oncologist couldn't even see us for a month.
Every second to me counted at that point. And I just knew that my life was on the line. Sandy Ozapovic and I have been in business together for 35 years in the same company. And Mark and Sandy would, from time to time, share their experience with a center that they had to use to save her life with cancer 19 years ago. And my wife and I jokingly would say to each other, just with a little candor, "Hey, if that ever happens to one of us, we're heading right out to Envita. We're just going to jump in the car and go."
And so what we didn't know at the time was that his immune system was being so compromised by cancer. We just hadn't found the cancer yet. We didn't know what was going on. When we found out about Envita from Sandy, we had always said, this is where we're gonna go to get a full treatment for the whole body. And now realizing, his immune system's compromised. We need some help.
So she gave me Samantha's number, my coordinator, my care specialist. And I immediately, when I got on the phone with Sam, felt a powerful empathy. And she and I related to each other. We were on the phone for almost an hour. And I told Vanessa, "I have such a good feeling about this." I said, "Book the tickets." They rushed an appointment and got me an appointment with Dr. Sears on Thursday. And I got my first treatment Friday morning. And I told them when I got here, I said, "Guys, listen, I'm going to put my life in your hands. I trust you." The second I came into Envita, the first thing I saw was a picture of my Lord and Savior on the wall. And I thought, here's a treatment center that immediately is faith-based. And that was very attractive to me. And then the second thing I felt was the smiles and the immediate warmth of the environment that's here. So I was telling Dino, one of the last days I was here when I rang the bell, I said, "Dino, the key and the secret sauce to Envita are the people. It's the environment you've created. It's the can-do attitude. And here's the saying around here that I love. You've got this." And so they would tell me constantly, "You've got this."
We knew that they were going to be very precise, very careful, that they were going to rebuild his immune system.
Very intentional with my health.
Yes, very intentional. And the treatment was so targeted and so specific that he didn't experience a lot of the side effects that you experience with regular treatments or traditional treatments, so to speak. And so that was one of the key elements in getting through this process with cancer for David. And we're so thankful for Envita, for how they approach cancer.
I love the case-specific love and attention I got here. And they knew who I was, and they knew how I thought.
To feel the love, to feel the warmth, to feel the encouragement, and then to see the progress and to see the results. It just lifts you, and it gives you a whole spark and a new outlook on life and a joy to move forward and know that there's still more life to be lived, And so that's what was so remarkable for me as a wife and a mom, to be able to look and say, my husband's still here.